Yeah, thank you, Ashok sir, for the introduction. Yeah, so my journey towards meditation has started in the year 2020. So I started to explore meditation because, of course, my it was the year of COVID and my exams got postponed. I didn't know what to do. So I pondered upon meditation, but by my guru Brahma Shititama Patriji. So I came up across this video, and whatever that was told in the video, being a medical doctor, my understanding towards meditation is little different, because I thought meditation is something that helps you to enhance your stress, and it helps you to go through the day-to-day activities in a much better way when you decrease your thoughts. I had that basic understanding, but the metaphysical, the true spiritual science part of the meditation is something when the great master introduced meditation. I accidentally came across his YouTube video, and I started to experiment on myself. I sat into meditation for at least 1 hour a day. I didn't know how to do a meditation. I just found a guided meditation in the YouTube video, and I just put it, and I just sat into meditation 1 hour every day. And by the day of 10th day or 11th day, I observed a lot of changes in my physical body, which my medical science could not give an answer to. And then I started to explore into this other dimension, that metaphysical dimension of meditation, because unless and until you feel it, you experience it, no matter how much you tell to the other person or the other person tells it to you, it still becomes an information. It doesn't become a wisdom. So I think that was the personal experience of mine which helped me to explore into meditation. And then on, I came across Dr. GK, who, being a medical doctor himself, who explored, who digged into meditation to its peaks. And he brought into this concepts of spiritual tablets and wisdom capsules. And I really wanted to see what these wisdom capsules are. And I, of course, attended the L1 session, but my, what do you say, um, belief got reinforced when I started to talk to the patient gods that Sir has treated, and as a part of testimonials where I was taking. And these masters were, I mean, the transformation that was seen by, there are like hundreds and hundreds of them. And when I started to talk to them, the type of transformation that has happened to them, people who are cured fibroids, or who have cured being severe alcoholics, who have, leading their lives so much beautiful right now. And the type of wisdom or the type of understanding that they have got into their life is amazing. Then I thought that, how much ever you give money, food, or anything, the type of services that we do, but the wisdom service, that spiritual science service that we call as, when you do it, you make the other person stand on his feet. Because these kind of situations where difficult situations comes into your life, but when you give that wisdom, that get strength to the other person to handle the situations in his life, you're not only helping them in the health wise, financial wise, every aspect of the 9-dimensional aspects of our living in this universe gets covered. I think that's the beauty of spiritual tablets, which I understood after listening to the testimonials of these patients who are earlier the patient gods of GK sir. And that reinforced my belief in spiritual tablets. And that's how I'm still exploring. There's so much to learn. But I've just started my journey. I have took that step towards it. But yeah, thank you so much. That's my little bit on my journey towards spiritual tablets. Yeah, thank you so much. So today, as Chandra sir is little down in his energies, I have to take the session. So we'll continue with the last session that sir has stopped, where he has stopped. I'll just share the screen. Okay, so as you can see here in the screen, so this was the worksheet that was given to all of you in the previous session by Chandra sir. So the main intention of this sheet that is given here is that, of course, you take your time, go through to this week's session and also the next week's session, where we are talking more about emotions and other aspects of emotions. But the main intention of this worksheet given to us, you people, is that many people don't distinguish between something that happened to them and their reaction to it. So because they think that it is an event or the situation that holds that emotional charge that is responsible for creating that particular emotion in their life, but it is that belief system that has created that particular response in your life. So it's very important that you identify those scenarios, check those particular feelings that are written here, associate those feelings, and try to rewind that experience that you have gone through, and see what was that incident that has triggered that particular experience to give that particular emotion. Was it you responsible for that, or was it the surrounding or the situations or the people around you? Try to grade those emotions from 1 to 5, how intense were they, and find a reason that was it you or was it someone else, can it be corrected. So some kind of answer to whatever the situation or the feeling that you have gone through, because this type of writing onto it, or at least exploring that, dissecting that particular emotion, will give us a perspective to see how we can tackle that emotion. So that is the main idea for you to for us to give you this worksheet and work upon. Okay, so next today we'll see further on the emotions. So as you say that emotion is a very important and integral part in our everyday lives, because they are the way that we connect with other people, because an emotion is a language of this physical body with respect to your mind and heart. If you consider thought as a language of your mind, then emotion is a language of your physical body. That's how you interact with people around. So the experiencing, how you experience an event, how you express an emotion with respect to it, is a very integral part of our day-to-day life. So we always connect to our past experiences, or in the present moment, or the future, with an emotion associated to it, right? We also connect to the people in our lives, or also the people in general, with an emotion. Because in today's day, we live in an age where knowledge of emotions is very extremely an important commodity, because emotions are used to explain many things. Whether you take it in your everyday events, emotions have been the topic of discussion. This is a very, very important commodity. So that emotional fluency is very, very important for us, because it is that ability to sense, to translate, and effectively apply the power of emotion in a healthy and productive way. So now the ability to sense, to translate, and to apply effectively the power of emotion, you need to have some kind of a relationship with one emotion to the other. It gets down to a emotional equation. For every incident, or in every event in our life, there is an emotional equation that is attached to it. We'll further discuss about these emotional equations further down as we go into our session further. So because these emotional equations, they offer a way for us to work with our emotions, so that we can identify, we can change and influence them much faster, and we can bring that change very, very quickly. So now the other characteristics of emotions are the first mode of communication. It's not the words, not the language. Emotions are the first language with which parents and infants communicate with each other. Our emotions precede our ability to put them into words. It is that emotion that first comes into your whole body and mind, and then you put that emotion into your language, and then you speak out. Now, our brain has this system called as limbic system, which is majorly involved in our behavioral and emotional responses. And there are other regions in our brain also which produce emotional responses, but this limbic system is the one that manages our innate urges, our moods, our emotions. Now, this limbic system, it's a part in our brain which is considered to be an ancient part of our brain, because it has evolved much before the thinking part of our brain, which is called as neocortex. You would have heard this word, but just touch your forehead, the front region of your brain, everything is called as neocortex. We call it as the CEO because it is the thinking part of our brain. The rational thinking, whatever the thinking that you do, it comes from this region. But the emotional part is the first that has developed in this human brain of ours. So to put all this thing into one sentence, for a human being, everything is an emotion. We go to an extent that people express coffee also as an emotion. They say coffee is an emotion, that food is an emotion. This relate emotion to every aspect in their day-to-day life. So our thinking and the respective feelings associated are a part of a complex mind-body equation. So in our previous discussion, we understood that emotion is nothing but energy in motion, because we are all energy beings. Thought is energy, emotion is energy, everything is energy. So when you're feeling an emotion, what you are really feeling is a particular frequency of a particular vibrational energy. Every emotion is different and it is vibrating at a different frequency. The fact is that we all are experiencing emotions all the time, don't we? But I want you to understand something here is that the most of the time, we are able to deal with the emotions that we feel just fine. We are able to deal with those day-to-day emotions, but that we are able to, that we just feel they are fine. We feel that emotion, we process it, and very casually we move on with our day-to-day life aspects. But sometimes the emotions are very, very intense. Like the emotions like grief, like anger, like frustration, etc. These kind of emotions that are low vibrating emotions that we have seen in the previous slide, in the yesterday's slide, where Sir has shown this particular scale. Yeah. So these low vibrating emotions, which are all vibrating at a lower frequency, they deplete our residual body energy, because they are just too powerful to deal with these energies when we don't know what exactly is happening with us. So these emotions in the form of energies, they get trapped in our physical body, because if we are not aware of them, especially because we didn't let go of them, because we are not aware of them, we didn't know how to tackle them. So the emotions we feel become the energy we emit finally, because our energy attracts its likeness. The law of vibration, like attracts like. Whenever we are low on the emotional scale, we are emitting negative energy, which attracts similar people, similar situations, similar experiences that match your vibration. So when you hear someone saying that, my day went from being bad to worst, then this is the quantum mechanics that has happened behind that particular emotion. Now, so how do we handle our day-to-day emotions? Just like we have a bath to our physical body, we should also have an emotional wash every day. So feeling your emotions is very, very, very essential. Often we get stuck in an emotion. The reason is that we can't get out of it is that we are unwilling, and we are not acknowledging or accepting that particular emotion, what type of feeling is really going on through in our mind and body. So first, start feeling your emotion. Accept them as it is. Then process the emotion fully in whatever way you can. Of course, without hurting yourself or someone else, just process that emotion, take some time in whatever way you can. Processing and letting go of an emotion will help you to move forward and create a very healthy and creative phase, will bring a very creative phase into your life. So if you don't do that, what happens is that eventually you will make that particular emotion define who you are. It will become your identity. Because it is very important to remember that it is our emotional mind that causes 95% of our behavioral patterns. So moving on and letting go of an emotion requires a certain amount of witnessing and monitoring of your emotions, which eventually create different experiences that carry on into your lives. So it's very, very important and imperative that you need to identify, feel that emotion as it is. Then you can let go of it. Now it is said that a human being has approximately about 34,000 emotions. They could map at least 34,000 of emotions as of now. Now, this is a cycle courtesy to Robert Plutik. This is a cycle of wheel of emotions. Now, there are other cycles also, but approximately there are about 34,000 of emotions right now that they have mapped. Now, there is a theory that our entire emotional lives can be boiled down into a handful of basic emotions. This theory is about 2,000 years old. But in today's time, psychologists have mapped them into 6 basic core emotions. They are happy, sad, fear, disgust, angry, and surprised. And of course, each person predicts this 6 emotions in their own, with different synonyms of words, but these are the basic 6 core basic emotions that have been boiled down into. Now, it is said that these emotions are expressed by everyone else across the globe, exactly the same way, and therefore represent the building blocks of our entire emotional lives. Now let's understand the maths of emotions. let's understand a little bit, bring these emotions and apply it into a mathematical equation, courtesy Chandra sir. So now let's understand the maths of these emotions. Now an equation, whatever an equation, basic equation, is just another way of expressing a relationship of two or more things, right? You put, if you want to bring in a relationship between two or more things, you put them into an equation. So there is a relationship between every emotion with another core emotion. So when you add one emotion to another, it gets a bigger, and also it gives you a complex emotion. And when you do the opposite, the positive number gets reduced close to a zero. So if you take up an experience or a situation or an event in your life, there are 1, 2, 3, or more than 3, 4 emotions that are mixed up, that are forming an equation, that are, creating a feeling for you in that particular experience of that particular event in your life. Now, for example, here, now take an equation of optimism minus joy is equal to anticipation. Now, the researcher suggests that if you add primary emotion, that is anticipation and joy, you will get a secondary emotion called as optimism. So what happens when you take optimism and subtract the joy? Looking at the equation here, we are left with anticipation, right? An emotion will always come with every action of ours. So let's take another equation to ponder upon. There is regret. Regret is said to be disappointment plus responsibility. So if there is no feeling of responsibility in an event or in an action or a behavior of yours, then you will never feel regret of that particular event that has happened with you. So only and if only there is a responsibility that you associate with, then you start feeling regret of that particular event. So now it is very important for us to understand these definitions from a practical perspective in terms of how they manifest in our life. So if we understand these equations, we will know what to do and how to manage these situations. Now let's take another equation here, that is suffering is equal to pain into resistance. So now here you need to see and get aware of this sign here, mathematical sign here. It's not plus addition, but it's multiplication, which means the more the resistance, the more the suffering in your life. So the first point here to remember is it is never the circumstances that becomes the cause of our unhappiness or suffering, but it is our resistance to the circumstances that cause the suffering and unhappiness. Now, what is this pain or suffering? The words are synonyms, but it is really the resistance to them that amplifies it, whatever the word is. So now, why do we resist? We resist because there is a hidden attachment, a very deep attachment, or a comfort zone that you are staying in, where you are, where you are staying, and that is the main reason why you resist things and situations. Which means, if you are resisting, you are going to suffer. It is a conscious choice that you are making. So you can use resistance to either enhance your suffering or to eliminate your suffering. It's always your choice. How do you want to use that equation? So now let's take an example. For example, you're traveling to an airport in a car and you're stuck in a traffic, or another scenario like where your flight gets delayed. So in these two scenarios, you can create an incredible amounts of negative reactions in your mind, like as if this particular situation is going to be the end of the world. But the fact is that it is not that bad, like sitting in an airport waiting for a delayed flight, or sitting in a car in a very, very intense traffic jam. When you see relatively, these two are very relatively comfortable experiences that you are actually going through. Of course, there will be a little bit of pain and discomfort that might arise because of these situations, but when the resistance to the change is huge, it amplifies our suffering to grow. And you also bring the law of attraction, and like attracts like also. When you start, bringing these emotions of despair, disgust, irritation, and everything, then the similar circumstances will get attracted into your life. Your flight might get even delayed. It might get rerouted. The number of travel hours will increase, and by the time you get out of the flight and reach your house, your head will be pounding, and you're gonna sleep, and you're definitely gonna sleep for at least 2 to 3 days in it after reaching your home. I think most of us have gone through that kind of situation, when you can go back and remember those kind of situations when you had similar kind of a situation. So of course, there is a little bit of pain and discomfort, but when the resistance to the change is huge, it amplifies our suffering too. So just because we feel pain, it does not mean we need to suffer. So based on the math, suffering might be considered voluntary. So if you take resistance to 0, then suffering is also automatically pulled down. So now what happens when you're resisting? You're moving in circles and circles in it, and you go deeper into it, and you will eventually impact your what do you say, other actions in your day also. You'll start shouting at other people, and everything will just keep on acting from that day. So what is this antidote for resistance? The antidote for resistance is acceptance. So if instead of resisting something, we accept it, the pain will automatically melt away, will go away. So it works in a very trivial situations like this, like a flight getting delayed or a meeting get delayed or you getting delayed to a meeting. Once you accept the change of events, there is nothing to be upset about. It's just what it is. You get present where you are and you'll move forward from there. Then when you have no control over the situation, the only thing that you can do at that particular situation is accepting that situation. Now, when you accept the situation, it cannot complete the loop. It will get out of the loop because there is no more circling there. You have accepted the situation. You're not no more defining yourself with that particular emotion. You're letting go of that emotion. So we all face our unexpected and uncomfortable obstacles like that in our life. So what dictates our experiences of these obstacles is how we manage our attention during that experience. How present are you? How aware of you? What type of energy are you giving to that situation determines the whole event of that day. Again, the solution for the problem suffering, that is pain into resistance, is acceptance. This is the mathematical equation. Just remember it. Just always try to remember whenever you have that kind of a situation, always remember this equation. Suffering is equal to pain into resistance. If I show the resistance, then suffering is going to become more. So now, when we let go of our resistance, any type of discomfort, whatever the discomfort is, it is immediately manageable. So the next time you find yourself in a painful experience, whether be it's a change of plans or whether be it's physical pain or life not going as you have hoped or whatever it is, play with this practice of acceptance. So just notice what that pain is, what that uncomfortable situation is. Bring that particular situation to your notice. Be aware of it completely. Observe the particular thoughts, the thoughts of resistance that are coming into your mind because of that particular incident or event in your life. Because what thoughts will come, the initial thoughts that will come is that this should not be happening. Why is this happening to me? These are the thoughts that will be coming into your mind. So let them pass away. Now just regain your center. Give a counter positive answer to whatever the thoughts are coming. Give a counter positive thought. Now regain your center by accepting the new circumstances. Regain your center. Allow yourself to arrive to that full new situation. Take some time. Give yourself some time. Be very gentle with yourself and take some time and regain your center. Then bring that aspect of mindfulness to that physical sensations of their experiences, what's happening around you. Be mindful of it. And always notice that these are only temporary. Everything will pass on, because when you're aware of the situation and you'll notice that, you'll remember of some similar experiences in your past, and every experience has just passed away. It's the emotion that you have been attaching yourself to. But if you let go of that emotion, that whole experience will go away. Now continue this practice in all time in your life, because these kind of experiences will keep on pondering into your life. That's what life is about, right? So always try to follow this principle. Always try to give that antidote to your suffering, that is acceptance, and try to move on with your life. Because the most important thing here is to believe in yourself and gracefully navigate through all the obstacles and challenges that come into your way. So we'll stop today with this beautiful equation of suffering is equal to pain into resistance, and the antidote is accepting. Okay, we'll start the meditation today, and we'll take any questions after this. Thank you. Yeah, Sneha ma'am, if you are ready, then we can start the meditation.
Thank you, Ravli ma'am. Thank you for creating the platform for today's meditation. Just give me a minute, masters. For the past 2 days, masters, we have been on this journey of identifying why our emotions are today. Why are they so? We have been able to look back into our past years. We have been able to connect with our inner child, our younger self, till a certain age. We have identified what traits we have carried forward from the very point of into our mother's womb till 21 years of age. We take this journey forward and try to identify the pain, the suffering that we have actually carried forward from those yesteryears into our present today. Today, we revisit ourselves in the age group of 21 to 35. We cover those 14 years and then we try to identify what traits from those yesteryears we have brought onto us today. What is the pain? What are the emotions that we are carrying? Or is it the suffering that we have chosen from those years? So, masters, please prepare yourselves. Those who are doing this inner child healing meditation today for the first time, please follow our instructions. These healing processes may be overwhelming, will bring out various emotions in you. Accept those, be open to those, identify them. Just in case in this process you are feeling overwhelmed, you wish to come out of the meditation, refrain from doing so. Keep a water bottle handy within your arm's reach so that if such a moment comes up, you will be able to grab that bottle of yours, have a sip without opening your eyes, and get back to the state that you were in. You need to relax yourself completely, not rush into meditation. Take your time, relax your physical form, follow the instructions, and you'll be able to reach out to your younger self. Just in case, just in case you feel any stress arising, any tension arising, and you are not feeling comfortable, you may gently move in your position. Just don't open your eyes. Also, if you are comfortable, you may switch on your camera so that if we see any such emotional stress happening onto you, we'll call out your name and bring you back. My dear friends and masters, Let us move ahead in this journey of identifying what is it that we are holding on to. What is it that is so much deep rooted into our subconscious or our unconscious that is leading to this pain? What is it that is causing us suffering? Or what is it that made us choose suffering? This is a journey to learn from our own younger self, revisit those events, those incidents. As we begin our today's meditation, remember, we are here to identify where the suffering is being felt. Is it an emotion or a mental image that is causing it? Something we are holding on to. Identify the pain and then identify where is this pain localized, or is there a knockout effect in your mind and body. As we begin today's journey, remember, you are here to give yourself a permission to heal. Give yourself permission to forgive yourself and others. Honor this journey of yours. Take a comfortable posture. Keep your back straight, your legs crossed, your palms clasped, fingers into fingers, and your eyes gently closed. Take a few deep breaths and clear your mind. Clear your mind completely by following your breath in through your nose, down into your lungs, till you fully release your breath out into the world. Take your time to come to a peaceful, relaxed state. Take your time to free yourself of any wandering thoughts. For this moment, just be here. Feel the relaxation spreading across your head and face. Relaxing all the muscles in your face and forehead. Feel the warm waves of relaxation continuing to drift easily and naturally down into your neck and spreading across your whole body. Now that you are completely relaxed, give yourself the permission to travel back in time into your memories. You are traveling back to find your younger self when you were in the age of 21 to 35 years. As you journey back, trust the impressions that you receive. It's a totally safe place. You are totally safe and in charge as you travel back into your own personal history to bring comfort, to bring healing and reassurance to your younger self. Trust the impressions, trust the images, trust the emotions. Pay close attention to the impressions that you are receiving. Look out for your younger self. Pay attention to the details. Pay attention to the surroundings. Trust the impressions that you are receiving. For a while, look at your younger self from a distance. Identify the impression. Is it cherished and a happy memory which is long forgotten? Or is the impression of a past trauma that has been repressed? Slowly approach your younger self. Trust the impressions that you are receiving. Remember, you are yourself as the present day adult. Just observe your younger self. You are here to communicate. You are here to understand the impression that you are carrying from this moment. Identify the particulars of this very event. Is it your happy place that you have reached? Or is it an event that has created frustration, unhappiness, or taken your younger self by surprise? As you approach your younger self, try not to frighten your younger self away. Take your time and try to take your younger self slowly by its hands. Trust the impressions that you are receiving. Identify what is it that this younger self of yours is going through. Trust the impressions that you are receiving. Allow your younger self to open up. Comfort your younger self. Assure that you are there to listen, to understand. Extend your love. extend your care. Identify the emotion that your younger self is going through. All this while, trust the impressions that you are receiving. If your younger self is happy, join in the celebration. If your younger self is hurting, comfort your younger self. Say to your younger self, it It is okay. You are good. Say to your younger self, I love you exactly like you are, and I will never leave you. Trust the impressions that you are receiving. Look into the eyes of your younger self. Say to your younger self that they are being heard. You are there to listen to them. You are there to comfort and to extend your care. And it is okay to open up. It is okay to share. Trust the impressions that you are receiving. As your younger self opens up, identify which body part is it affecting. Where do you feel this emotion in your present day self? Trust the impressions that you are receiving. Now that your younger self has opened up, make your younger self understand that they are loved no matter what. It is okay to feel safe. It is okay to feel wanted. Make your younger self understand their importance, how precious your younger self is, and how perfect your younger self is, just the way. Trust the impressions that you are receiving. Now that your younger self feels it being heard, seek permission to leave with an assurance that you'll be revisiting and reconnecting. As you bid adieu, identify the change of emotions. Is your inner self, your younger self, happy on having this communication? Where do you feel this emotion in yourself, in your present day self? Trust the impressions that you are receiving. My dear friends and masters, slowly and gradually, as we prepare to return from this journey down the memory lane, I want you to say to yourself, I was born innocent and open. As an infant, my eyes, my ears, and mind were wide open. Affirm to yourself, the child I was once is alive within me right now. Deep within myself, I am still an open, innocent child. Affirm yourself. Within my innocent, open self, I feel a natural and spontaneous love and joy. My inner child is totally innocent. Deep within me, what I want most is to love and to be loved. My dear friends and masters, slowly give yourself permission to return to your present self. This has been a journey of revelations, of understanding. Take a moment to express your gratitude. Gratitude to your younger self. Gratitude towards your inner child for opening up and communicating with you. Gratitude towards this simple format of meditation that helped us connect with our true self. With this, slowly and gradually bring your awareness into your physical body. Move your fingers, wiggle your toes, unclasp your palms and rub them together, and gently place them over your eyes. Slowly open your eyes inside your palms. On the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You may release your palms. Take your time. Have some water and welcome back. Thank you, Masters.
Thank you, Sneha. Thank you very much. The beautiful meditation as usual. So I hope, Masters, you all had a beautiful session. So those who wants to come forward and share your experience, or if you have any question related to the wisdom class taken by Dr. Ravali today, so please raise your hands and we can go through. And Masters, and every day the recordings has been posted on in the couple of hours and the next day morning. So you guys can actually watch them in our YouTube channel, and which has been posted. And I have given all of the links for last week's, and you can, whoever is been registered, then you can access all the links there. So please, if you have not registered, or if you have not registered to that, subscribe to the YouTube channel, please subscribe and do watch the, so that way actually you can understand better. If you are watching second time and third time, then you can come up with any kind of a clarifications that has been required. And one more request. It is not required for you to come up with any question related to the class. You can ask any question that you have a question that you wanted to ask any master like Parmeshwaran sir or Chandramodali sir or Dr. Ravali or anyone, they are ready to help you to discuss about your question. So it is not just related to the wisdom class that has been shared. No, you can come up with any class, any question that you have. So that way, actually, you can get the clarifications about your questions. Thank you. So Ramakrishna sir, you can unmute yourself and you can go ahead and ask your questions.
Namaste. My question is like, okay, today we are going through some physical ailments. Be the heart issues, be the eyes issues, any kind of thing. Other day, the Ravali madam also was mentioning that your physical manifestations of a pain is related to some emotional event, one of the emotional events of the past, maybe immediate past or a previous past. And today's meditation also, you are trying to make a statement that, okay, now there is an event, emotional event, and you are deriving some physical pain from starting from there. I'm not able to understand that concept. Okay, today I do have a couple of physical ailments, but I've gone through, I scanned my my life since birth to the age of 40. I'm not able to link the events in terms of, okay, what is this cause of my today's physical pain? Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Ramakrishna sir. So the question for your question is that whatever physical pain that you are having right now, you are unable to relate it to the emotional event from your past. But the question, but the according to spiritual tablets, the understanding that we have is that whatever physical illness, whatever illness, whether be it your heart condition, eye condition, knee pain, anything you take it, everything has a emotional reason. There is a lack of wisdom. There is some ignorance aspect that is running in, which needs to be corrected. So depending upon your particular illness, whether it's your knee pain or anything, there are associated chakras and there is imbalance in that particular region due to some wisdom that needs to be taken. Because here we need to see that emotion not respective to you, how you have reacted to the person about around you, but also how the other person has interpreted it. Because we might think, that's what I said when I have shown you the word Excel sheet, that sometimes we don't know what type of emotion we are going through and what is the reaction that we are giving through. So that's very, very important for us to understand that. Sometimes people don't even, they mask that emotion also by the age as they go over. That emotion gets masked also. So meditation is something that, when you cut off those thoughts, you go deeper into yourself, you'll unlearn yourself, you'll see that, okay, what type of emotion that you have interacted at that particular point of time. So this particular guided meditation that we have taken through you all, it not necessarily that in one meditation you will just ponder upon it, but there are some deep emotions that get create that energy blocks in certain parts of your body, and that needs to be released, and that is a major reason for that particular ailment to come up onto your physical body. So it needs some time, it needs some time to ponder upon. So yeah, I hope you understand.
Yeah, Rauli ma'am, let me add an example there, a live example. So I would like to, Ramakrishna Garu, I would like to convey about my side. Okay, so I have a thyroid. I have a thyroid problem from the last couple of years. So I never thought that as you have the concern or a question that what you have raised, because I do have the same concern and a question when I actually started going through this spiritual journey and how this has been happened and all that stuff. So when I read the G.K. Sir's book about the thyroid issues, and he has given 12 different points where you just need to watch and just point to yourself. The main things are, let me tell you, gossips. Actually, there are certain things that you are going to hear from your friends or from relatives or from your somebody else, and which you have not seen with your naked eye, but you are actually carrying forward that one to discuss with somebody else, that you are explaining to them as such you have seen that scenario or that particular thing. So you are carrying that one, but it is causing so much of a stress in yourself when you are actually doing that. And at the same time, there are certain other things when you are actually talking, you are not impeccable with your words, because when you are reacting versus responding. So when you are actually having a situation, you just react rather than responding. So when you are reacting, you don't know how you are actually coming out with your words, because when certain things are happening with your spouse, whether it is wife or a husband, so you can observe how the things are going to flow from your mouth. So when you are really impeccable with your words and you are actually responding rather than reacting, then you are going to see certain things. But when this situation happens, there is so much of a trauma that is going to cause, and which is going to cause the stress in your body. And slowly, that is where your blocks are going to generated out of all this. So when the blocks are going to be generated, slowly it will manifest towards an illness. So because when you are identified with a cancer or a thyroid, it is not just came from one day. So it has been accumulated from years, and one day it is going to pop up. But when you are going to be watching mindfully, consciously watching all this stuff, then you can avoid. So that is what it is, sir. Okay, I hope that it will give a little bit of an understanding of how the things are going to come into our body, how those blocks will become like manifest towards illness at one point of time.
Thank you. Over this journey of 40 days, I hope I will be able to find a way to link my current illness to a past event or events. Okay, that's what I'm hoping. There is one other thing I want to share with you today about today's meditation. Okay, last 2 days, like the meditation process, I understand you have started with 7 years, another 7 years, scanning our life. And I knew today that you are going to hit upon the 20s into 30s. My father passed away when I was 25. Like any child, I cried for 3 days, and slowly the pain reduced. And for last 3 days, I was expecting that I will cry today. I did not. I'm not sure. Did I forget that emotion, or I did not recreate that emotion, or could not recreate that emotion? I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. But I was pretty stable. I was just watching the event as if I was one of those spectators who came to the funeral.
See, when you are going to understand about birth and death, and they both are the events that you need to really celebrate. That is what GK sir says, or any of the other ancient masters also says about birth and death. Because you are not supposed to be sorrow, because if you are going to understand about your soul plan, because when the people are going to come onto the planet Earth with a purpose, when the purpose has been over, then everybody is going to vacate the physical body. So that means that it is just a phenomena that is going to happen for the birth and death. So maybe I'm not sure that whether you are going to, but you are not supposed to come into meditation with an expectation. Okay, that is something that what we have actually clearly explained when Jyoti madam has gone through the induction classes. Actually, that is what in the meditation, actually, you are supposed to come with, and you are not supposed to expect anything, because things will happen. Then when things are going to happen, then you just need to start enjoying them, but you are not supposed to judge them, or you are not supposed to have a journey with them. So that is how the thoughts are going to be generated in meditation. Okay. So Ravali, you can add them.
Yeah, what happens is that Ramakrishna sir, as sir said, when you come with an expectation that you already have a idea that this age frame, I think my father, you have lost your father from the physical form, so I might get revived of those emotions. So you are expecting with that emotion and you're sitting. So what happens is that you're subconsciously, you have triggered that memory, and you're expecting that that memory might come up. But there are so many memories, so many millions and billions of memories that we have processed, we haven't processed because of our awareness. Because all the while, if you're not aware of any situation, they just go, they don't get processed, and they just sit there in that memory bank. And that will manifest in different ways, unimaginably, because an anger does not mean it will only manifest as an outburst. It will manifest as jealousy, it will manifest as despair in many other ways. But when you go back slowly, you'll see that that particular element called anger is manifesting in these so many ways. So when you have that particular expectation that this might come up in my meditation, you are already masking all the other emotions that's supposed to have come. When you go in such deep emotions, you just need to relax. You need to let the body do the work, not the mind. Right, Ramakrishna sir? Because these meditations are very intense. They will take us to those aspects of our life where we have not even touched or pondered upon. So give yourself some time, go through these meditations, just let the magic happen. You'll see what you're going to happen. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ashish, sir,
Yeah.
can you
So,
unmute yourself?
yeah, I have been muted. See, I have one question. I mean, I know it's not about, we don't come to meditation with expectation, but just to wanted to know. For the last 8 years or so, I've been taking a blood pressure tablet in the morning, and since the last 7 or 8 months, I thought maybe 5 or 6 months, the doctor advised me to take one at night also. So my question is that with continuous meditation, etc., is it possible? I mean, we keep hearing that once you take a BP tablet, you have to keep taking it. So is there a possibility that the dose comes down, or one can do away with it? Is that scientifically possible to meditation?
I think Ashish sir, after listening to Gaurav sir's journey,
Yeah.
this question should not come because that man has cured his cancer.
Okay.
Blood pressure is nothing. And you have Chandra Modelli sir who has reversed his type 2 diabetes mellitus condition. Right?
Okay.
Sir has not talked about it, but he has reversed his type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
He's off insulin, he's off tablets, everything since last 8 months.
Okay.
So just give your time. You're new to meditation. Give your time. There is so much healing the body needs to happen. Will require. Just don't doubt the process. Just because what happens is that when you have a lot of these doubts and everything, then you won't give that body that space and time to react. You're always putting that thoughts of doubt into that body. There's nothing wrong in meditation. You're putting whatever music you want and you're sitting and you're cutting those thoughts, because whatever disease, 98.9% disease other than genetic conditions, which we'll explain on that also later in our sessions, are psychosomatic. It's officially proved. You see WHO, you see whatever sites you see, they say it's psychosomatic. Everything is self-inflicted.
Okay. Thank you.
So
Thank
if
you
we
very
are
much.
able
Yeah.
to create disease in our body, we are able to cure the disease also. So have complete belief on yourself. This beautiful physical body can do miracles. Just give it time.
Yeah, and one more thing to add, Ashish sir, just not only just the meditation is going to do all the magics, but in our daily life, then when we are going to look at all the concepts that has been taught in the classes, this is the main motivation between these 6 weeks, because everybody has to understand about their physical body and how the illnesses are going to be actually manifested into the body and how we can actually manage and support them. So when you are actually going to learn about the concepts of forgiveness, gratitude, and about the major things like understanding, acceptance, surrenderance, and then about your reactive versus responding. So all of these things, once you start analyzing and once you are going to be aware a little bit about the materialistic life and come towards some calm life, then automatically your thoughts are going to be reduced, and your negative thoughts that are going to be generated, as it is Jyoti madam said, every day it is going to be like 70,000 plus thoughts that is going to happen, which are 90% of them are negative and redundant. So if you are going to reduce those negative thoughts, and if you are going to be with a calm mind and with the positive thoughts, then where is the stress is coming into your body? Then automatically your body is going to do miracles. So that is what we just need to observe on a day-to-day life and see that how best we are going to eliminate those negative thoughts into positive thoughts, then automatically things will happen and miracles will happen and magic will happen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Rajni ma'am, can you unmute yourself, please?
Hi. My question is, I did not get the last part. So we are trying to comfort our anger souls, but I could not comfort my anger soul. So I could not give. Yeah. So what are we trying to do in the meditation?
Okay. What is the question, Rajni ma'am? You could not connect your anger self.
No, I could not comfort my anger soul.
You could not comfort your anger soul. Okay. It's okay, Rajini ma'am. These are very intense meditations. You might not connect in first meditation. Just take some time, go through the meditations again. because it requires a lot of opening up. There are a lot of, layers to that. So don't expect that you just get connected in the first meditation. We are just taking it through a process. The recordings are available. So go through it whenever you can. That emotion will come, but sit into meditation without any expectations. Just listen to that and just try to connect to it. It might not happen in the very first time. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Masters, if you have still any more questions. Okay, then if there are no more questions in the chat also, then we'll end today's session. Meet all tomorrow.